This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Brewers Outlet, and Purdy Insurance. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, RV. Yes, Medicare. Steve Engel handles that. And guess what? The Medicare open enrollment period starts next week. Keep that in mind. They want to make sure you're fully insured. They also want to make sure you save money, because customer service means everything to them at Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury, go to purdyinsurance.com. Fresh off his win in Dubai from the golf course, we bring you Nate Bauer. Sir, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I was just at Mountain View Country Club, not Dubai. I don't have to go that far to play golf.
Mountain View, Dubai, really, what is the difference?
Great point.
Just thought I'd point that out. But not too much. You know, they point me toward the field, I talk. It's all good.
Sure. Yep.
All right. So, you have to, as we've mentioned many, many times, when you run a service like On3.com and Blue White Illustrated, you have a lot of interaction with a segment, not completely, but a segment of the fan base. Sure. I'm going to guess that segment is not enamored with what they're seeing.
Well, so a couple of things. I think it is fair to describe them as the most passionate part of the fan base. This is a piece of the fan base that's fair. Right, whether it's monetarily invested or whether it's with their time and energy, either way you look at it, that they are heavily invested, like a soap opera, right? A daily occurrence. Mm-hmm. They want to know what's going on and the inner workings of the Penn State football program. So when you invest that much of yourself in terms of your interest in the program, and the last 2 weeks have gone the way that they have for Penn State football, then yeah, they are pretty upset. It's just a matter, I think, of really everyone to contextualize, right, and make sure that what's true is put out there and rightly criticized, right? Like criticize the right things, right? Yeah. To me, that's what's kind of fascinating about the current dynamic is that there are absolutely things that Penn State football has failed at this season. There are also things that are being described externally as contributing to those failures, right? Mm-hmm. Or outright causing those failures that are figments of people's imaginations. It's just not real.
Yeah. I've first of all, people invest a lot of money in, even if you're on a message board and you're investing money in parking tickets and so forth, you're still investing a lot of money. I think that's fair to say, right? So I mean,
absolutely.
So look, they want what they perceive to be bang for their buck. And, I understand that. This is an entertainment industry, and part of the entertainment part is winning. Is that fair?
Very fair. It is a delicate balance of understanding what the rest of the market looks like, right, versus, okay, so Ohio State, Michigan, right? What are the costs? What are the things? What are the investments that are being asked of those fan bases to consume their product? Because that's a totally fair way to characterize it. It is an entertainment product. It is just, I guess, this piece of, expectation and pound of flesh and you name it, right? There's just this there's this extra spice right now in terms of the climate culturally for what is expected at games, and so it is hot. It is hot surrounding Penn State football right now in this moment.
Now, let's take your observations, because the difference between you and somebody on a message board is you put your name behind the observations. Fair?
I do. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that.
Well, no, but I've told many people on this end of it, there may be people that can't stand my opinions. There may be people that may not respect my opinions. There may be people that think I'm a homer, a mouthpiece, whatever they want to characterize me as. But my name is behind all of it. That's the difference when you're out there all the time doing it. And I'm saying that about you. Your name is out there. So it's your opinion and you put your name behind it. They don't do that.
It's true. That's true.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay? Again, now, in terms of respecting my opinions, okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that alone.
Part of what's been interesting, again, from my perspective, is not that there's never enough, right? That's a big part of it. Is right. There's no amount of contrition or accountability, or right, like and in some respects they're right, like the outcome is not good enough. But what's fascinating to me is, they lost the game at UCLA last week, okay, and the build up to that game was UCLA is the worst team in college football. UCLA that I saw, right? I watched the game. I have eyes. That wasn't the worst team that Penn State's played this season, let alone the worst team in college football.
Especially quarterback.
Nico had an excellent game, right? Like there's that side of it. There is the side of would Tony Rojas have made every play that Dom DeLuca didn't, or that Penn State's defense didn't have an answer for? No, not necessarily. Do I think he would have had a better opportunity to make some of those plays? I do. I think that some of those plays specifically were very impactful on the outcome of the game. Right? Like there were these pieces of it that it's like, the intent of the last drive possession for Penn State at the end of the first half. They weren't trying to run hurry up. That was never a consideration. It was intentional to be a 4-minute drill. In 4-minute offense, you are trying to run out the clock, right? And so some of it, I don't know if it's misunderstanding. You can disagree with the outcome. Like Penn State's execution of the 4-minute offense ultimately failed. Right. But the rationale behind it was literally proven 17 seconds later as the defense did what it had done throughout the first half of football by allowing points again for 5 for 5 on UCLA possessions in that game of scoring points. So it's like there is a conversation to be had about, hey, this did not match the standard of what it needs to be in terms of executing it, and that's comprehensive. That is the play callers, that is the position coaches, that is the players themselves. And ultimately, all of those things are James Franklin's responsibility. But it's not. I struggle with the strategic side of it because I didn't see that. Like I didn't see this like massive blunder of how to handle it. It was handled correctly. They just failed in their execution of it.
Yeah, no, it's because like the end of the first half. I mean, if they make the play on fourth down, James is going to use his timeouts.
Correct.
Because when you start that drive, you have three goals in mind. A, score a touchdown. B, if you can't score a touchdown, get a field goal. If you can't get either one of those, make sure there's no time left on the clock.
Correct.
That's what you're right. And James was going to use his timeouts if they got the first down on fourth down.
Yep.
And I know that only because I asked him.
In prime field position for either of the outcomes that are A and B.
Yeah. All right. So,
but also they lost the game. Like they lost the game.
All right.
So there's a second side of it that's like, again, I really struggle with making sure that we're criticizing the right things because I think there is ample out there to criticize. Right,
sure.
The offensive line has not lived up to the performances that it needs to have. Nick Singleton has not lived up to that. Drew Aller has been up and down. Right, defensively.
Yeah, but he was good on Saturday. But Drew was good on Saturday, I thought.
Drew was great on Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, here's the issue I'm finding right now with when the word inconsistency comes up. It means that there are times you're doing it actually really well, and then there are times that, like, what the heck happened there? I thought we were doing that really well. They'll run 20 plays, defense, offense. They'll run 20 plays. 15 will be great. 5 will be problematic, and there's a different person that makes it problematic every time that makes it harder to identify what the problem is.
Yep. Kyron Hudson is a little bit of a boogeyman after that game. He had a great touchdown.
He did.
Right.
Yeah.
That is, and I've said this, and people blow back. Like it's fine. I don't mind people getting mad at me about all of this. That's okay. Like, it's all kind of part of it.
Like I said, people have all sorts of. Look, I think for the most part, I seem to be decently liked. Okay, but right. But I think for the most part, but there are people that don't like me, whatever, and I don't care. I've done this a long time. No offense. I sort of think I know what I'm doing by now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I just like this. My overall takeaway after that game was truly, you saw some of the best and worst of all three units of Penn State football this season in that game.
Yeah.
Right? Special teams is super easy to harp on because the thing that stands out is the onside kick.
Yes.
Well, they also had a block punt that created a touchdown and in a lot of ways swung the game, right? Made that game much more competitive because of that play. Defensively, obviously had huge issues containing the quarterback.
Yes.
But also had a key fourth down stop in the fourth quarter to give the ball back to the offense in great field position. Right? And a lot of the same things from the offense. The offense did a lot of things pretty well on Saturday. They just also the failures to convert those fourth downs at the end of the first half and then again at the end of the game are critical. Right? Failure is not an option in either one of those situations, and it happened in both cases.
To me, the hard work of football is done Sunday through Friday, where you have to make corrections. There are times you have to climb on some people if they're making the same mistake. Saturday's supposed to be fun, right? And sometimes I think you can get so like, okay, I gotta hit the 5-run homer here. It's okay. I mean, do you sense? I mean, look, losing's not fun, but if you sense that, like, I want to be the one to make the big play and turn everything around mentality.
That's a great question. Yes, I think that's definitely a piece of it. I think that there is, and I'm just being honest here. I think there is an element of it's someone else's fault that happens to teams when they get into situations like this. Mm-hmm. And look, James, it's one of those things where, like, a lot of times the things that James says are a window into the reality of what's happening. Last night on the show with you, talking about accountability and, how they had to work through some stuff earlier this week based on the frustration and the disappointment. Yeah. Well, working through stuff is hashing it out, right?
Yep, that's right.
That's a big part of an organization like this, where you've got a lot of people and a lot of opinions. A lot of those opinions are tied back to what parents think and friends think, and the ecosystem around you. And he said this earlier this year, like it's natural for your friends and family to come to your defense and say it's not your fault, it's somebody else's fault.
That's exactly right.
But it is super dangerous, right? It is super dangerous for a team to fall into that kind of thinking. And so, look, like, bottom line, his challenge right now, I get it. Externally, and I felt this way even after Oregon, externally, everyone's talking about the end of the season now. That's how it was after Oregon. It was everything was 10-2. Yeah. Now it's they're not going to make the playoff, and like all of the season hopes and dreams are unfulfilled. Okay, that's fine. That's a great conversation. You know what needs to happen for Penn State football more than anything in the world is they need to win Saturday.
Yes, I agree.
Bottom line, they got to get a win. It does not matter if it's Northwestern, Ohio State, Iowa. It does not matter. Yeah. Whatever the next game is, and in this case, it is Northwestern. The temperature surrounding the program, the players in the program, the coordinators, the coaches, everyone will feel better to perform well and get a win on Saturday. But they have to do that. Northwestern is not going to give them that.
The only
like they're not just going to say, we're Northwestern and you're Penn State, go ahead. That's not how it works.
Yeah, the only question, and this is on me because, as you know, I don't script out questions. We just talk. And I thought about this ahead of time, and then in the end, when I was driving home, I realized I never asked it. Sometimes when you get into a spot and somebody fouls up a bit, you try to overcompensate. And I was going to ask him, and I didn't, about everybody just doing, quote, their job and concentrating on their job and not making up for somebody else. And I never got a chance. That's the one question I forgot. That's on me. I just, first of all, I also asked a lot more.
And not only very valid, but something that you can point back to in his tenure during certain times, right? Certain teams where when something went wrong or unexpectedly wrong, that overcompensation element came into play, right? Because of an injury, right? That you're going to not only do your job, you're going to do somebody else's job because somebody has to make the play. And then it results with, because you weren't in your lane, a play was available that hadn't been available previously.
Now, I freely admit I asked a lot more questions last night than I thought I was going to have to ask. But between the soccer and the hockey games last night, I think that the crowd would have been that size regardless because of the two games last night going on. But I ended up asking. I remember thinking, man, I'm going to have to, because I still have to do the pregame show with them too. I had more questions to ask him after that.
Oh my!
Hey, part of it you want to talk about what's going on at Penn State. I also wanted to ask him about Northwestern. That's why I asked him about about quarters in cover 3 because it's football. It's football, right?
Yeah, I think the one thing that he has not talked about this week that it is interesting to me is if you and I know you already think this. I'm not saying anything new here, but the way the Penn State's defense has gotten beaten, even in games it won, is quarterbacks that have the ability to extend plays with their legs.
Yep.
That is the kryptonite for this defense. It is the pass rush not being able to get there, right? That fraction of a second that was different between Abdul and Denai, right, or Zariah or Chaz, whatever, right? But it is that close, and when you can't get there or when you can't contain that, it has really been problematic for Penn State. And I think, just looking at Penn State's opponent this week, that probably isn't a concern, right? That probably isn't top of mind.
But he moves better than you think. I mean, I watched a little bit of the UCLA and I watched the Monroe games. He made a couple of runs in that game, so you still have to be aware of it. So
yeah.
All right, hey. I got to get you back. I know you've got chipping practice coming up, so I'll let you get to that. As always, my friend, thank you so much.
Appreciate you having me, as always. Thank you.
Back with more in a moment on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
Game time or just fun time. Doesn't matter what time it is because it's Brewers Outlet time. The beverage supermarket has the area's largest beer selection. Imports, microbrews, ciders, and domestics. Pick from over 100 ice-cold 12-packs and dozens of 24-ounce singles. Soda, snacks, hot sauces, fresh roasted peanuts. Make it one-stop party shopping, and don't forget the pickle bar. So whatever you're celebrating or just doing it up, Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street, Sunbury wants to see you. And thank you for your years of patronage.
Scared of new car prices? Then you haven't been to Sunbury Motors Kia. Sunbury Motors Kia takes the scariness out of new car shopping. Take as much as $5,000 off on a 2025 Kia Sorento EX all-wheel drive. Or choose $2,000 off and 0% financing for 48 months or 0.99% APR for 60 months. Sorento start at just under $35,000. Take up to $2,000 in discounts on the 2025 Kia Niro with hybrid models that get up to 54 mpg and don't even require a charging cable. Drive away in a 2025 Kia Niro EV wins for just $278 a month for a 2-year, 10,000-mile lease with zero, you heard right, zero out of pocket. Plus, during the month of October, Sunbury Motors Kia will be donating $25 per new vehicle to the PA Breast Cancer Coalition. Sunbury Motors Kia on the Strip in Hummel's Wharf. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now, from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
All right, and this half hour brought to you by Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket. Imports, domestics, microbrews, the best selection of beer anywhere. Stock up for your tailgate now. That's right, stock up for your tailgate now. Lots and lots of snacks. They roast their peanuts fresh and out every day. 6 great flavors of slushies and ready-to-drink cocktails. High Noon, Jack Daniels, Crown Royal. It is all at Brewers Outlet, And, of course, the Pickle Bar, led by the Barrels and the Dills, indeed second to none. All at Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury. The beverage supermarket, the King. Cody Bellinger is opting out of the Yankees, but at the same time, the King is opting into our show.
Oh, don't make fun of my Yankees.
No.
You.
No. I'm saying he announced just now he's opting out. I mean, it literally just came out.
Huh? Why?
Okay, this is going to be the same situation with Alex Bregman. Do you think you can get more on the open market? Now, I don't think Bregman can get more than $40 million a year, which is what he's getting now. Bellinger
is all right this year. He wasn't that great.
Right. Bellinger has a $25 million player option for next season. He presumably will receive widespread interest in free agency. He thinks it's going to get him a bigger contract. And now we'll see if that's true or not. But it literally just announced that he's opting out, and he's not going to be the first guy to do it. There are going to be a bunch of guys doing it because they think they can get more money.
Yeah, why not? They're going to go on strike anyway, aren't they?
They have to go through next season. The collective bargaining agreement runs out after next season.
Oh well, they both had, they both made the playoffs and went about as far as either team should have gone. So
yeah, no, I think that's right. I mean, the Red Sox making the playoffs was an accomplishment.
Yep.
Not having their best player didn't help. Just like the Mariners having one of their top pitchers unavailable doesn't help. Just like the Phillies not having Zach Wheeler doesn't help. But that also
are you referring to Anthony?
I think Roman Anthony's their best player.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that describes them completely.
Yeah. No, the best player is a rookie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's the best player. So.
And
I agree, he is their best player.
And Zach Wheeler is one of the top pitchers in baseball. The Phillies are missing him. Yu's missing for the Mariners. I mean, you're going to have injuries no matter what. It's really tough, though, when it's guys you depend on. And we'll see when Seattle takes on Detroit tonight. It's going to be George Kirby against Tarek Skubal. We'll see how it plays out tonight. The Phillies had to go without Wheeler, but their starting pitching was excellent anyway without him. But
it's important for any team or any organization to have really good backups. Like you have a really good backup today. Todd's not there, and you've got a really good backup.
Okay,
my WAR is really low, though.
Hold on a second. We'll debate that one off the air. No, I'm just kidding.
My WAR numbers just are not there this year.
I'm kidding, okay? It was an easy, cheap joke, and everybody knows I'm specialized in that.
Oh, he's a good man.
Yep. So you've got, you have to have depth in your organization, but there's also a reason why when you get to this time of the year, or whatever time it is when it's championship time, your stars need to be your stars, and they can't be your stars if they're not there. So Zach Wheeler's a star, not there. Yu's not there. That hurts. It does hurt when you don't have, because you need your stars to be as stars. It hurts when the star is not there either.
Of course, it also hurts when the stars are there and they are not there.
Okay, you're bitter. Okay, you're bitter. That's all. You're bitter. Every time I turn around, you're bitter. Okay?
Give me the weekend. I'll be over it after the weekend. But this one hurts.
Oh, for goodness sakes. We're going to be in February, and they're going to report the camp, and you're going to be, game I had last time.
It all depends on who comes back into camp.
I'm just telling you, with you, water drips on my forehead on this stuff.
Are you a Philly fan?
Yes.
That was a nice throw.
Yeah, but it's like we said in the first hour. It wasn't the throw. It was the lack of hitting. It was the lack of timely hitting. And as I said, you've heard the old adage, they left a small village on base. They didn't. They left a small metropolitan area on base.
I tell you, who's the hottest guy on that team's what's his name? The former Red Sox.
Schwarber. Schwarber.
Oh man, the Red Sox need him so bad. They don't have a first baseman. So.
No, I'd throw some cash at him.
I think
if they had him, they would go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
think don't have a hitter. They don't have a home run hitter at all.
No.
No. I think he ends up going to Cincinnati, and mainly because that's where he's from. That's the team he grew up rooting for, and that's where he wants to end the career.
Yeah, I
Fine.
heard that.
Yeah. Fine. I'll talk to Terry Francona's daughter about that this weekend.
Well, you guys heard the story
because Kevin, she works here, so I know her.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but you guys heard the story that Schwarber gets a home run, and it was like his 2,000th hit or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was a big number. He met the two, I guess, teenagers that caught the ball and said, "Hey, I'll sign a bat for you. You want me to sign a ball? Anything else you want?" And he goes, "Just sign a contract."
Yeah.
And Schwarber actually liked that one. He thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come back. That guy's good, man.
I've always liked him.
He's great in the clubhouse, and he's just a great ball player.
Yeah, and even when he's struggling, you have to pull.
He said the Red Sox offered him no contract.
It was that again.
He waited for him to call. They never called.
Between Mookie Betts and Kyle Schwarber, I stated it at the time. Each time, what a massive mistake each one was. You have to have a feel for the game, and whomever made those decisions had no feel for the game. They didn't know what they were watching.
Especially players like that, because Boston and New York are really hard places to play.
Yeah.
And if you can walk in there like Schwarber did and just start hitting home runs, there was no phase to him at all playing at Fenway Park.
Right.
And you can't. That's half of who was the guy from Tampa Bay who was like all world?
Carl Crawford.
Yeah.
Carl Crawford.
And he got to Fenway Park and it ruined his career. He couldn't play anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, it takes special players to play there, and if you got them, holy crap, you can't let them go.
No, ever. You cannot let them go at any point. No.
No. So.
It just, and you've got to be able to, you've got to be able to identify. Fit is such an important thing to identify. I was talking to an NFL general manager a few weeks ago, and it's not the Eagles or the Steelers, okay? Okay? And he was telling me about how they moved on from a player that's an ultra-talented guy, and he says one of the best things they ever did because the fit wasn't there and it didn't fit with the locker room. It didn't fit in the field or the sideline. And he was just telling me, he says he likes his team right now. He says, he's a long way to go, but he likes his team. And he's telling me, he says, I feel like I've got, 46 leaders in there. He said he said, makes a big difference. Fit and personality means something. And when you've got those guys, and we just mentioned Schwarber and Betts, they're fits.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Eagles are dealing with that with the wide receiver and
Brown,
the quarterback. Yeah,
Brown.
They don't like each other.
I mean, Brown's been an issue, and again, I've said once, and I know he didn't play last night, and I know the Giants ran the ball. I've said it once. I maintain it. He can have a Hall of Fame career, but if I'm the GM of the Eagles, I don't draft Jalen Carter. I don't. You can't leave your teammates and a staff member at the scene of an accident because you're worried about your draft status. I can't draft you. I can't draft you.
A human being doesn't leave anyone at all.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, anyway, I saw Franklin in his press conference. He's a good man. But what I got out of his press conference is he doesn't really know what's wrong. So,
I think, okay, so I asked him this last night on coaches show. I said, this will be an observation question. It seems to me like you can run 20. I say inconsistency also means there are moments where you're doing it right. That's why it becomes inconsistent. We're suddenly like, what the heck happened here? I said that you can run 20 plays, 15 are pristine, 5 end up being fouled up, and it's a different person each time that fouls it up. I said, well, I asked him that. I said, A, is that fair? And B, how difficult is it to fix things when that's the case? And he said, it's absolutely fair, it's correct, and he says, and that is part of the issue. You just can't sit there and go, all right, we're moving on from that guy, we're going to move that guy, and that'll solve it. Like, well, no. In the other 18 plays, he ran it right. You know what I mean? That becomes the issue. Everybody needs to do their job. Everybody needs to find a little bit of fun in the game right now. Everybody needs to go out and just play tomorrow and just play and figure out a way to get the winning feeling, which brings with it fun.
Yeah, and he names specific things that are a problem, and it's been a problem even against the weak teams. They're starting off the first half so slow.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they turn it on in the second half. Well, you can get away with that against Florida Atlantic, but not against the true Division I team. So I was stunned last week.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
they're
look,
not out of it yet.
No,
so.
But the onside kick early, it's one of those. I think my exact quote was, when you are 0-4, you can take all the chances you want. It doesn't matter, right? And I expected that at some point they would do that. I thought they were going to do it on the. Now they received. They won the toss and elected. Here's another one. Like, people don't pay attention. Why did Franklin defer to start the game? He didn't defer to start the game. Okay. UCLA won the toss and elected to receive. Okay. Pay attention. If you're going to be critical, pay attention.
It costs too much to pay attention.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. And then because the first question, I think it was the last question I asked him in the postgame show. I said, how much did you feel like the onside kick because it changed the possession quotient? I said, how much did that hang over the entire day where you were playing catch-up because they created for themselves an extra possession? Because here's the other part. Penn State's defense has not had a takeaway in 2 games. And I realize that is partially masked because people think that the denied Dennis Sutton interception in overtime against Oregon was a turnover. It is not. It's just a conversion that is not made. Okay? So that's where, and of course there was the fumble where Wheatley got it, ran it back to the 50. They went to replay and somehow in some miraculous fashion found indisputable video evidence, which, as somebody who's watched the game for a long time, kept looking at it saying, I don't see it. Right? It's close, but I don't see indisputable. Right. But they haven't had a takeaway in 2 games. They didn't have a takeaway on Saturday where you could change the dynamics of the game because the quarterback running with the ball, Nico Iamaleava ran for 128 yards in the game. 120 were on 3rd and long scrambles. And that's how you end up. You played your first 2 downs beautifully. You've got them where you want them, and he got them off the hook every time. All credit to him because he made the plays, right? But that's where you get, because Penn State had been 17% defensively, 17 on 3rd down and 5 or better this season. 17%.
What are they on 4th
down? 4th down? Penn State on 4th down's pretty good. Talk about 4th down defensively.
Oregon went for all the time and got it.
They ended up being 6 of 11 on 4th down. Mm-hmm. Yep, they ended up 6. But that's Stan's MO. I was asked in the pregame show, what's his MO, and I said he will go for it on 4th down often. So you've got
the problem there was Penn State could never get Oregon off the field.
Yeah,
their defense was out there the whole game.
Too many minutes. Too many minutes on the field.
then it goes into overtime. You know,
and you're tired. You're gassed.
Oh my gosh,
you're gassed.
Yeah.
Yep, you're out of gas. And they've got Indiana tomorrow, and that's going to be a heck of a game, I think, out in Eugene.
And what's Northwestern's record?
3-2. Lost to beat UCLA. Beat Louisiana Monroe. Lost to Tulane. And I can't remember the other game they played.
They played Oregon. They ran
tough.
all over Oregon.
First time.
Oregon couldn't stop the running game. They
the running game's
on their
good.
face in the red zone with turnovers.
The running game for for Northwestern, Caleb Kamalafe and Hyman, two very good backs. The center,
Absolutely.
by the way, is excellent. The center is an excellent player. And look, you just got to go out and play. You got to get to the lead and make them play catch up.
Yes.
By making them play catch up, it takes their running game away from them.
Absolutely. They have to go out and dominate the first quarter and put 2 touchdowns up, whatever. But they have not done that all year. So, and I could tell in his press conference that he doesn't really have an answer for it. He's confused by it. So,
well,
he'll fix it.
Yeah, look, he will.
He's a good man. I like him. He is good for the program. He will turn this around. So
yeah, I agree.
Bad that he's getting beat up. He doesn't deserve that. So,
well,
I mean, you can say he hasn't beat the top 10 teams and all those stupid stats, but he's won a lot of football games there.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, like if they win tomorrow, that'll be win number 105. That'll move him into sole possession of second place in the history of Penn State football in 139 years. He'll have the second most wins. Now, I don't have the heart to tell him he's going to be in second place the rest of his career on the win list. I don't want to take away that moment.
You know who's struggling big time? Is Bill O'Brien.
Is he? Yeah. They've got.
Oh God!
Did they have Pitt this week?
They had Pitt last week. They lost by like 44-7.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, it was a bad loss. He's on WEEI every week, and he's canceled it now. He said I'll no longer be on.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yeah, when a coach does that, he's.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's embarrassed or.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't like this INR stuff. Boston College has a very strict academic.
Yeah.
And you have to meet those requirements before that they'll pay you any money at all. And he's not getting the player. So.
Well, I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, the money part of it. Why is it, for example, the SEC, you're allowed now to have a 105-player limit. You're also allowed to have all 105 players, if you desire, to be on scholarship. The SEC has capped it at 85 scholarships. Why? Well, that way they can give the 85 players more money versus 105. I mean, no offense, but even I figured that out.
Is it true that every player on Penn State is making at least $85,000 a year?
You know what? I don't know, because at one point,
I googled it.
At one point, Pat Kraft had talked about each player getting $70,000, but again, things change, because he made that statement maybe a year and a half ago. Sometimes when the reality of it comes up as to how you want to do it, it does change up a bit. So that part,
I googled it.
I don't know.
$85,000 is below the average.
Well, I got 4 years eligibility available. If that's the case, I got to look into this. I mean, there's a guy up at Lycoming that's older than me playing. I should be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we could at least make our own team.
Okay. Have either one of you watched yourselves run lately?
No.
I don't have to.
I haven't run.
I don't have to run. I just have to show up.
Okay, right now all you're doing is running from reality.
Which I've been doing most of my career, but that's a whole different topic.
We should have been better athletes.
I tried to raise one that was a better athlete. It didn't work out in my favor.
Oh. So the Savannah Bananas are going to play ball in 45 states this year. Do you see that?
Jeez.
They're going to go to 14 Major League Baseball parks, 10 football stadiums, including Kyle Field at Texas A&M and Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow.
They're also going to play at Dealer Park in Billings, which only seats 3,000. The Superdome, Gillette Stadium are part of the tour.
I like watching them. They're fun.
Well, they make the game fun.
Yeah.
They make the game fun. That's why, I know when they went to Boston, Brock Holt, who played for the State College Spikes, was a part of the team. That's what made last night interesting for me. I'm watching the Dodgers and the Phillies. Harrison Bader, Phillies, played for the State College Spikes. Tommy Edman, starter for the Dodgers, played for the State College Spikes. Okay? Tyler Glasnow, who pitched the opening 6 innings for the Dodgers last night, State College Spikes. And then Alec Bohm, who plays for the Phillies, played how many games at Medler Field, LeBron Park, when he played for the Williamsport Crosscutters. So there are a lot of guys last night I saw that I know. That made it interesting. So, yeah, very interesting. Banana Ball going worldwide. They should bring it to Dunkin' Donuts Park in Hartford.
They were there.
I just need a cheat sheet for the scoring.
I think okay. Do you understand the concept of entertainment?
No, it's sports. It's not entertainment. It's frustration for me.
It's Banana Ball. Just watch and absorb it and have some laughs and fun. It's like watching a Harlem Globetrotters game. Do you keep score?
Yes. I want to know who wins.
Oh. Right. What bothers me is you wagered on it.
Oh.
Just among the friends that I had going to the game.
Oh.
I thought sure the Generals had it.
I had the Generals plus 200.
I'll see you guys.
Actually,
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I actually know a guy who played for the Generals, right? And he says, "That's it like losing every night." He goes, "We have a good time."